Welcome to Informed Tourist AI. Now let's get right into it. Today we're diving deep into the top 10 most overrated tourist attractions in the world. We've all seen those glossy brochures, those Instagram feeds with the perfect shots, but what about the other side of the story? We're talking scams, crowds, and massive disappointment. Stick around to learn how to stay safe. We're gonna break it all down and give you the real deal on these so-called must-see spots. Oh, and stay until the end to discover the #1 danger you'd never see coming. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's kick things off in the city that never sleeps, New York City, baby. And where else but Times Square? This place is like the poster child for tourist traps. I mean, you see it in the movies, those dazzling lights, those giant billboards, it just screams, I'm in New York. But here's the thing, and I'm speaking from experience, once you get past the initial wow factor, you're left with crowds, like serious crowds. Wall-to-wall people, all trying to navigate the same sidewalks, cross the same streets. You're more likely to get elbowed in the face than you are to see a celebrity. And don't even get me started on the traffic. It's like the entire city converges on this one intersection. So, what's the verdict? Is Times Square worth the hype? Honestly, it's a photo op, and that's about it. Next up, we're hopping across the pond to Paris, the city of love, the city of lights, and home to one of the most underwhelming tourist experiences ever, the Mona Lisa at the Louvre. Okay, before you all come at me with pitchforks, I get it, it's a masterpiece, it's iconic, it's Leonardo da Vinci. But here's the truth. That painting is tiny, like seriously small. You spend your entire life hearing about the Mona Lisa, building it up in your mind, and then you finally see it, crammed into a corner behind a rope, surrounded by a mob of selfie stick-wielding tourists. It's like trying to navigate a mosh pit just to get a glimpse of a postage stamp-sized painting. So, my advice? Skip the Mona Lisa madness and spend your time exploring the rest of the Louvre. Alright, let's head back to the States, shall we? This time we're cruising down to Los Angeles, the land of sunshine, stardom, and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, I love movies as much as the next guy, but let me tell you, the Walk of Fame is not all it's cracked up to be. Picture this. You're strolling down Hollywood Boulevard, imagining the glitz and glamour of old Hollywood, when you're suddenly faced with a dirty sidewalk. That's right, the Walk of Fame is literally just a sidewalk, with stars embedded in it. Plus, you're constantly dodging tourists, street performers, and people trying to sell you overpriced souvenirs. Honestly, you're better off catching a movie at the TCL Chinese Theater or taking a hike up to the Hollywood sign. From the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, where dreams are made and stars are born, we're going back in time, way back, to the mysterious and ancient Stonehenge in England. This ancient monument has mystified people for centuries, standing as a silent witness to the passage of time. How did it get there? What was its purpose? These questions have sparked countless theories and debates. These are the questions that have plagued historians and archaeologists for ages, driving them to dig deeper into its secrets. But here's the thing about Stonehenge. It's literally just a bunch of rocks, albeit very ancient and significant ones. Don't get me wrong, they're big rocks, and they have a certain grandeur to them, and they're arranged in a pretty cool way that aligns with celestial events. But still, it's essentially a prehistoric pile of stones in the middle of the English countryside, surrounded by fields and grazing sheep. And you can't even get that close. The entire site is cordoned off. There's a fence around the entire site, keeping visitors at a distance, so you're stuck peering at it from afar, often through binoculars or camera lenses. After you've traveled all the way to the middle of nowhere, often on a long bus ride, it can feel a bit underwhelming, especially if you were expecting a more interactive experience. You're better off checking out some of the other amazing historical sites in England, which offer more to see and do, like the Tower of London with its rich history and the Roman baths in Bath, where you can almost feel the ancient world come to life. Alright, let's jet back to Italy, shall we? This time, we're heading to Pisa, home of the iconic Leaning Tower of Pisa. This architectural marvel is famous worldwide, and for good reason. Its unintended tilt has made it a symbol of resilience and a must-see for any visitor to Italy. You know the drill. It's a tower, it leans, and it's on every traveler's bucket list. But there's more to it than just its lean. But here's the thing about the Leaning Tower. It's become the ultimate tourist trap. The charm can sometimes get overshadowed by the sheer number of people. First of all, everyone and their mother is taking the same photo pretending to hold up the tower. It's almost like a rite of passage for tourists. It's fun, sure, but let's be honest, it's a little cheesy, isn't it? The novelty wears off pretty quickly. And the crowds? Don't even get me started. The entire area is packed, making it hard to truly appreciate the tower's beauty. The entire area around the tower is swarming with tourists, all jostling for the perfect photo op. It can feel more like a battle than a leisurely visit. Plus, the entire area is surrounded by souvenir stalls, selling every kind of Leaning Tower of Pisa trinket imaginable. From keychains to mini replicas, it's all there. The crowds, the cliches, the sheer tourist overload, it can really take away from the experience. But if you look past all that, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is still a marvel worth seeing. From Italy, we're traveling to the land of pharaohs and ancient wonders, Egypt. And of course, no trip to Egypt is complete without a visit to the pyramids of Giza. These massive structures have stood for millennia, silent witnesses to the rise and fall of civilizations. But here's the thing about the pyramids of Giza that might surprise you. They're not exactly in the middle of the desert. In fact, they're right next to a bustling city. Yeah, you heard that right. Forget those romantic images of camels silhouetted against the setting sun. The reality is a little more urban. And then there are the vendors. As soon as you step out of your tour bus, you're bombarded with people trying to sell you everything from bottled water to camel rides to fake artifacts. The modern encroachment, the constant hustle, it can really take away from the experience. Next up, we're heading back to Italy, this time to the eternal city, Rome. And of course, no trip to Rome is complete without a visit to the Colosseum. This ancient amphitheater is a testament to the power and ingenuity of the Roman Empire. Just imagine the gladiatorial combats, the roar of the crowd, the sheer spectacle of it all. But here's the thing about the Colosseum. It's crowded. Like, really crowded. Be prepared to push your way through throngs of tourists, all vying for the same view, the same photo op. And speaking of photo ops, good luck getting a shot without a selfie stick or 2 or 10 in the frame. And don't even get me started on the lines. The crowds, the lines, the sheer tourist overload, it can really take away from the experience. From the ancient ruins of Rome, where history whispers through every stone, we're traveling to the majestic Andes Mountains of Peru, to the legendary lost city of the Incas, Machu Picchu. This breathtaking citadel, perched high in the clouds, offers a glimpse into a bygone era, and stands as a testament to the ingenuity and architectural prowess of the Inca Empire. But here's the thing about Machu Picchu. It's not for the faint of heart. The journey itself is a test of endurance. First of all, there's the altitude. The thin air can make every step feel like a marathon. At over 7,900 feet above sea level, the air is thin and the oxygen scarce, making Machu Picchu a challenge for even the fittest of travelers. It's a place where preparation is key. Altitude sickness is a real concern, and it can strike without warning, with symptoms ranging from headaches and nausea to more serious complications like dizziness and shortness of breath. And then there are the crowds. The allure of Machu Picchu draws visitors from all corners of the globe. Machu Picchu has become incredibly popular in recent years, and the sheer volume of tourists can be overwhelming. The pathways can get crowded, and finding a moment of solitude can be a challenge in itself. Look, Machu Picchu is an incredible place, a truly once-in-a-lifetime experience, offering views and history that are unparalleled. But it's important to be prepared for the challenges that come with visiting such a remote and popular destination. Proper acclimatization, hydration, and pacing yourself can make all the difference in ensuring a memorable visit. From the Andes Mountains, we're traveling to the vast expanse of China, to one of the most iconic structures in the world, the Great Wall of China. This monumental feat of engineering, stretching for thousands of miles, is a testament to the ambition and ingenuity of the Chinese people. But here's the thing about the Great Wall of China. It's crowded, like really crowded, especially if you visit the more popular sections like Badaling or Mutianyu. Be prepared to share this awe-inspiring structure with busloads of tourists, all vying for the same photo op. And speaking of photo ops, good luck getting a shot without a selfie stick or two, or 100 in the frame. And let's not forget the vendors. The crowds, the vendors, the sheer tourist overload, it can really take away from the experience. And finally, we come to the City of Lights, Paris, and its most iconic landmark, the Eiffel Tower. This wrought iron lattice tower, piercing the Parisian skyline, is a symbol of love, romance, and everything French. But here's the thing about the Eiffel Tower. It's expensive, like really expensive, especially if you want to go all the way to the top. Be prepared to shell out a small fortune for the privilege of sharing a cramped observation deck with hundreds of other tourists. And speaking of crowds, the Eiffel Tower is notorious for its long lines. Look, the Eiffel Tower is an impressive structure, and it's definitely a must-see for any first-time visitor to Paris. But it's important to manage your expectations. So, there you have it. The top 10 most overrated tourist attractions in the world. Remember that travel is all about discovering new places, experiencing different cultures, and creating lasting memories. Thanks for watching Informed Tourist AI. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more travel tips and hidden gems. Now watch one of these videos to stay informed.